Okay, I'm back at the home of Porsche 996s with the Dan to the DTC.
To the D to the
DTC
T.
is back, Dan. Dan, tell what's going on. What's going on?
I'm called DTC because that is DTC, Dan's Timeless Classics. Yes, she's back. The original beast is back on the driveway. What was it? It's about a year ago, John, at Snetterton. She found her deadly fate after you came out in the car with me and pushed me too hard and made me go too fast. And it was flying, pop it again. It was flying, wasn't it? She was really going, and then all of a sudden we got this awful vibration come through the middle of the car, and it felt like a drive shaft or something. And you was like, I don't like that, no, I don't like that feeling, I've had that before. And I said, what do you mean you've had it before? You was like, that's what my one felt like when it went bang.
We weren't sure though, were we?
We wasn't sure at the time because it was still running well and it was idling. All the coolant was good, the oil was good, it wasn't knocking, it sounded good. But it was when you drove it and you pushed pressure on and you put load on, there was this awful vibration coming through the center of the tunnel, you know, your gearbox tunnel. And I went out and did a road test, didn't I? And I come back and I said, yeah, when you push on, it was like, it's not nice. So I quickly packed up the car with all my stuff while it was running, drove down to the A11, got on the A11, literally 60 mile an hour, 2,000 RPMs. And I must have been 3-4 miles away from Snetterton and suddenly I had Junga dunga dunga junga linga dunga junga dunga dinga dunga ding. And I got the Bangladeshi bangers music coming on. And I knew then that was metal bearings bouncing around in engines.
Well, crank off centre because the bearing's gone.
Yeah.
Crank is not spinning freely.
And then literally I knew straight away I need to switch this off. So I saw a lay-by, headed for the lay-by, literally ignitioned off, coasted into the lay-by, got out, saw that there was no oil loss or nothing. And then out of pure curiosity, I put the key in ignition and went to crank it and she went,
yeah, so the crank's
and
resisting.
Yeah,
so we think
it
hasn't been formally diagnosed, but we think crank's big end bearing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you had the oil filter off it?
No, I did. We did nothing. So all I did, John, is we got the car back. I knew it was game over for the year.
Probably nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
Everybody starts now. You've got a new engine.
I took the seats out, took the steering wheel off, took the bumper off and the headlights out and put them into that Boxster. I went and bought the Boxster because I had loads of track stuff booked.
That's out of my car, that is.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? But remember, I had loads of...
Be careful when using grinder to cut bits of metal out of the car. He's got rid of the leather dash.
But I had loads of... I basically had loads of track days booked.
Non-airbag door
I didn't want to waste them. Yeah, it's got no airbags in the car, nothing. I didn't want to waste the track days I had booked. So I thought, right, I'm just going to get a temporary race car, and we built BTC.
Yes.
So we literally just took the front off of this, took the seats out, and we went racing in BTC, and we had a good year.
Your carbon fibre bonnet's really nice, actually, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a pretty bonnet.
That raw carbon's nice.
Yeah, it's all carbon.
I like the look of this. I pulled up on the drive. Like, it looks cool without the bumper on it. It looks all cool.
It does look cool. And these are the wet weather tyres. Obviously, as you know, I've got another set of these with dries on.
I like these Alligrettas, but I just don't have budget for them now, so I'm with your braids.
Yeah, braids. Them braids are nice. I think them braids are just as light as these, if not lighter. Nigel said they're lighter.
They're track wheels, aren't they? So it's good.
Yeah.
So you've got upgraded discs and
so this,
calipers.
As it stands now, it is Porsche Panamera Turbo rear 350mm brakes on the front.
So it goes around in reverse.
But standard Porsche 996 calipers that run in padded RS pads.
Oh, wicked.
And then on the rear, it's just stock Mintex cross-drilled, again on padded RS pads, so standard 296.
You don't worry too much about the back, do you?
Yeah. But there's obviously a plan here, isn't there, John?
Is there?
So the white car...
That means work for me.
The white car has a really serious race setup brakes-wise. So that has 355 front, 330 rear rotor discs.
Keep going.
And I'm going to take with titanium stud conversion, which obviously is much lighter, but also even more, serious braking here.
Going on oil refinery.
In the white Peril.
So here's the white Peril.
So if you look at the brakes on this, it's got 330s on the back, or 320s on the back, and it's got 355s on the front, and it's got titanium studs. So,
Yes.
you know, very Jap looking, but on a race car, these are great.
Yeah.
Just easy to change.
You're going to
wheels
transfer
over.
those, are you?
So I'm going to transfer the whole lot
I like the look of those, though.
over onto that car.
I'd leave them on there and get another set for DTC.
Do you know what you're talking about money-wise for all that with those studs as well? £4,000. So
For the studs?
for the stud conversion, the brake disc, the whole
What do you
lot,
mean
the whole
stud
setup.
conversion? The studs just go in the hub?
Yeah, but it's called a titanium stud conversion. You go look how much they are.
£4,000?
No, the brakes and everything. These discs are £700 a corner.
Yeah, but those studs will go into your discs.
To buy the stud conversion is about £500. To buy the brake disc is going to cost you about £3,000.
Can't you just put those studs into your
You've got
brake
to buy the
discs?
extender kits. What's that?
Can't you just put those studs straight into your brake discs?
Yes, I can do, but I don't want to because I want to put these brake discs onto that car because these brake discs are bigger and lighter.
Okay, that's good.
So this car can be more road-fied with those brakes, and these race brakes can go on there. The
Fair
whole
enough.
setup.
Yeah, no. Well, you got the plan. This one's lovely.
The whole setup. I know they look good on here,
I'm
but
digging the interior of this now, Dan.
I'm not spending thousands of pounds to repeat this braking system onto that car. I haven't got the money. I can't afford to.
No.
But this
your
braking
braking system on DTC might be fine.
It was good. It was really good.
so
And it'd be good on this car, but
I'd only change it if you've got a problem with it. I'd just run it.
it's not as good as this car, though.
I don't want him to have too many upgrades,
Yeah,
guys.
he's panicking. But it's also weight, John. There's another 5 to 7 kilo saving here to swap those two over.
What he's not telling you is his diet's going terribly wrong. He's eating every
Diet's
time we go
going
for a
wrong.
coffee. Everyone gives him the biscuits.
You do. You poison me to try and get me fatter.
triggered.
Engine's all clean.
Yeah,
ready
so
to
this
start playing
this
with.
has been ice blasted,
Ice
isn't it?
blasted,
so
yeah.
it's looking a lot better, Dan.
Yeah.
You're never
This
going to
is
get all of that off.
we're not
but
bothered about that. This is just nice to work
Yeah,
with now.
it's,
and one of the new parts just turned
yeah,
up.
it's looking a lot cleaner actually, Dan.
Johnny boy, one of the new
touch it.
parts have turned up. Can you guess what it is, mate?
Yeah, that's a sump extender.
Yeah, baffled,
spacer.
deep baffled
Well,
oil
it's not the
sump.
baffle. It's just the
No,
spacer.
Yeah, and it's
It's
the
got a baffle
full
in it.
CNC machine deeper sump. Takes an extra ½ litre of oil because it's hollowed out.
But what baffled is? Is it got
And
a
it's
baffle?
baffled.
Oh, it's
yeah.
baffled.
It's
So that's the
baffled
complete
and
thing.
deeper. It's a complete
I
thing.
wonder if that's what I've got. If I've got I think I've just got an FED spacer and
I
an
think you've got a
X51.
baffled X51 sump
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then a spacer, which
Yeah,
increases.
yeah.
This is a all-in-one answer
Mine's
instead
better.
of two pieces.
Mine's better.
But yours is Porsche.
Yeah.
This is the Germans.
Yeah.
Oh,
But,
Erica made this one.
It'll be good. It'll be good. So what the plan is then? So I think we've just got to break this down. So what we've got to do, I think we should just sanity check your oil filter, Dan. But the engine's got to come
in
out.
that one, yeah. Well, we know it's going to be Pirates Gold.
Do
don't
we though? Do we?
Yeah.
Do we?
No, we don't. But we've got to drop the oil well anyway.
Mate, if that's not a big end bearing or a rod bearing, what else would? Well, it's a bearing.
Engine's
It's
locked.
a bearing. Yeah.
Yeah. Think about it.
You
You've got
spoke to Scott at
Yeah,
Transport.
think about it. You've got the vibration down the gearbox.
Yeah, yeah.
That from the
Higher
crank.
rev
That's the
vibration is-
crank
yeah.
moving under
Yeah.
high load
Yeah.
because the bearing is starting to
Yeah.
fail.
Yeah.
And then when the bearing has failed, the jingle jingle linga linga is that shell
linga.
coming off and going round and round.
Yeah. You're not
in the crank.
It's moving a bit. So,
Then you've turned the car off.
Yeah.
Then
So-
you've cranked to start, and that bearing has locked.
so it's probably done the.
It may have bent the
It's
common
done
rod.
the crank as well, probably.
Yeah,
because
it could
it's
have
been
scored.
run.
That's what happened
yeah.
with yours. It scored the crank.
Yeah. Because you can never turn the engine off. Once that bearing goes and you hit that vibration, the amount of times that crank's spinning, you'll be very
You'd have to turn it
lucky
off
to not-
instantly on track, wouldn't you?
even
And we
then
wouldn't have been able to do
Even
that.
then, it's rotated on a spun bearing, so you're going to damage the crank if
Yeah.
you have that. But so Dan managed to procure a new engine out of a breaker, which
Yeah.
has been split and rebuilt at some point.
Yeah, this was split and rebuilt 18,000 miles ago.
Yeah.
And they done the big end bearing, they did everything, all the shells.
Yeah,
It didn't need no
yeah.
bore work because these early ones don't score.
Yeah.
But it had all the bearings done, it had all the shells done, it had the chains done.
So-
and we ran this engine, me and you,
Yeah,
and we
and it does
tested
seem
it.
smooth,
And
doesn't
we
it?
thought it was smooth, all the geometrics
Leaking
were
oil
good.
from all sorts of places.
Yeah, and to be honest, I've seen some of the leaks and
We've taken all of the
was
bits
leaking out
off
of
it.
here.
Was it leaking out there?
Yeah, it
No,
was
that would be the AOS.
it had glue over that, so
Oh,
it
did
wasn't
it?
clever. The AOS was really badly failing. Do you remember?
Yeah.
The oil
So-
at the back.
And one of the spark plug tubes.
And one of the spark plug tubes was
Probably
leaking.
3 oil leaks
Yeah.
we need to be aware of.
And it looked horrendous. It looked like 10 oil leaks, but it was actually about
it
3
goes
oil
everywhere,
leaks.
The AOS one. Yeah,
So
like
my
a
plan
tree
with this
grinding.
engine is to do some minor porting and polishing to the inlets. to create my custom X51 intake system using a 997 3.8 intake, running a GT3 cup throttle body.
It sounds good on paper, but he's done no research.
John's very nervous about this because he knows it's going to be good.
It's zero R&D.
R&D's in here. X51 style manifolds or something similar, but they don't fit. But Brad has suggested
he can fabricate.
Change the flanges for the ones that do fit, rather than make a whole new manifold.
Yeah, why not? Because this is all good, isn't it? This is good quality as well.
Yeah, this is Porsche. This is GT3.
So he'll slice them, will he?
Take these flanges off.
He can do that.
And put the other flanges on.
So where does the pipe end?
No idea.
Because it goes. It goes onto
where
a
they're
second
welded
plate.
together. Yeah.
So he'll
remove those flanges, fit these standard flanges, and then they'll fit.
Mate, that'd be awesome.
He said that would be a lot easier than making a new set of manifolds. And like you said, you've got GT3 quality.
Yeah, it's good quality.
So then I make my own X51 manifolds because they're really expensive and hard to find.
Yeah.
So then I've kind of copied
what back boxes and cats?
My custom exhaust system because that's already sound
so you
qualified.
don't have equal length headers on that?
On that engine now in DTC, and he's stock headers, but with a custom.
So stock headers are no good.
Custom race exhaust system, yeah.
So you'll get good gains with that.
Hopefully, that's the idea. So basically, what I'm doing is trying to copy all the mods on this engine.
You get Brad to make you like the ultimate exhaust system and use the stock headers.
Yeah, but they're all rotten. I didn't want to take them off. You'll see why. They're all rotten. Right. But basically what I want to do, John, is copy the mods off of this monster onto this 3.4. So make a baby version of this.
You've got the intake. Have you got what air intake you use? Stock?
I'm going to use this system, same as this.
You're going to use EVOBs?
The EVOBs one, probably.
Are you going to put on that? Stock?
No, I'll probably get another EVOBs. I'll just get another one of these. But there's a new version coming out.
You're going to have to get your wallet out.
You know there's a new version coming out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
why not just cone it? Just cone it.
To be honest, I'll probably use my cone for now.
Just cone it.
The long term would be to probably replicate this system.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, with these cars, what we've done is we've found that some mods lose power and some mods might gain power.
Yeah.
Nigel's perfected every mod on this engine.
Well, Nigel had a target of 360 and got it up to that. Didn't want to go beyond that because he couldn't. He wasn't allowed to.
That's right.
And luckily enough, that's probably about where you get to with these when you start running out of
and that's a 3.7.
options.
So if I do all the same mods and the same mapping and everything he's done onto a 3.4, I'm confident I'll get over 300.
It's a big point of interest to me and Dan what you can get out of a 3.4 without doing the cams. And we think, anecdotally, like some of the race teams run 314, 315.
Yeah, and we think that's about the max.
Stock intake systems but just racing exhaust and a racing ECU.
Yeah.
So exhaust seems to be a big place where you can get gains, and then obviously that racing ECU map, whatever that's doing.
And that exhaust is my fourth exhaust, and that's the one that made power. It gained low down power.
I'm really interested actually, Dan.
That gained power up to 5,000.
Because what you're doing with that exhaust system
after 5,000.
That's a sort of, you could say that's a prototype. That's the first one that Brad's built for a 996. It needed adjustment to get the X pipe dimensions right.
Yes.
But that could be
the old one here.
That exhaust with that could give you loads of gains even without remapping.
The first one lost 20 horsepower.
Yeah.
And it was because the X was too tight.
Oh, too small.
Because basically we had a 2-inch. So that was one thing that we noticed. A lot of these modified systems go bigger bore.
Yeah.
Bigger bore is more noise, and you'd assume it's more power. But we thought
it's more flow, but less back pressure.
That's right. We thought, what's the point in going bigger bore than what you have coming out the header?
Yeah.
Because you're coming out smaller, then going bigger, you're going to create noise, not necessarily power. Yeah. So we copied the same bore, which was a 2-inch bore, not going 2 1/4, 2 1/2.
Yeah.
And the first one we made, unfortunately, what you got to think, you got 2 and 2 coming into about 2 1/2. Yeah. And it was bottlenecking and it burnt straight away. Once we realised that this was cut in too close, we made a new X where they just about touch. So that there is like 3 1/2, 4 inches. So you're not losing the volume of flow through the X. And bang, it worked straight away.
I can feel that bog down.
We gained 15 18 horsepower between 1,000 and 5,000
What was DTC running
RPM.
before it blew up? 285.
285, but at 5,200 RPM.
So I bet your resonator system won't work in then if you.
It was max power
So
at
that's
£5,000.
that's where you come off Vario
Yeah,
cam.
yeah.
So you weren't getting the resonator boost.
Wasn't
I
getting
bet
the
your
extra.
resonator was knackered.
So I bet you if we work that out,
you might have been up in the 300s.
Well, Charlie said if you look at the fueling pattern, because the car was over fueling at that point, if you sorted that out and you ironed out the crease, he estimated between 304 and 308.
I don't think it was fueling. I think if you flatlined at about 5,500 revs, peak power at that thing,
we
then
gained
your
nothing
resonator
after
system
that.
isn't working.
Yeah.
Because when you get that working, it keeps
And we
going.
didn't know that then, did we?
No, and they are prone,
Yeah,
mate. I
and
bet
they
you
are
got.
prone.
Well, we know because
we'll test
I'll
it.
check it. We'll check it.
Actually, we can't run the engine; it's broke. But you can probably check to see if it's activated.
No, you need to run the engine.
Right, we can't then.
But
I think you're probably
mate,
right.
we know all about that. Well, the problem is because we're putting on a different system, but we'll know how to check the
Yeah,
resonator.
but the new system will run 997.
This is the thing I'm concerned about because
Resonator
all the dimensions for this different for the what engine is this off of 3.8?
3.8.
So that's not a massive.
No.
That's going to probably give you a little bit more airflow. But interesting, actually.
It's not huge. What's interesting is that whole size there
Yeah.
versus this versus that.
Yeah.
There's only like half a millimetre in it.
You're not going to get much, are you? You're not getting much.
You're only looking to bore this out roughly less than half a millimetre.
Yeah, yeah.
Just a little. It's more about smoothing the edges out so that it creates it to almost the same dimension as that.
But I wonder
I just think that might be enough.
I wonder if you use that system.
It just might be enough, but it does fit. It does fit really good.
All of that plenum stuff. If your resonance is all out of kilter because it's designed, it's all different lengths.
Mate, this is the unknown. Until
you might strike gold, and you might put this on a dyno when we've got it running in about 5-10 years time, and it's like he's up at like 330 on a stock engine, which would be phenomenal, and then he'll blow it up 2 weeks later, and we'll go again.
We'll have to build a 4 litre.
We'll go again.
We'll build the 4 litre version.
Yeah, we ain't going to be doing that, are we?
So yeah, at the end of the day, listen, all this stuff was done because somebody tried it and somebody learnt it. Like, if somebody like me doesn't have a go and then finds out and then tells other people don't bother doing that, it loses power, or do that, you can actually get this.
In essence, what Porsche do when they go from a 996, up to the 3.6 and then off to the 997, is they take what they've learned and then they try and see how they can get more out of it. And Porsche have gone down that road of more displacement, so the engines have got bigger. But the resonator system fundamentally seems the same. But of course, if they get a bit bigger, then they've got to do a bit more airflow. Then their current injectors won't give them enough. So everything needs to be upgraded when they do that new engine.
The injectors do get bigger in a GT3 and in a turbo as well. And they port and polish on a GT3 and a turbo.
And at the same time, they're trying to make these design flaws like AOS leaks and then put in new AOSs and address little niggles from where they've learnt about these. The problem they then get is they may fix some of the niggles with the M96, but then they introduce other problems. So every engine is like these iterations where they fix one thing and then they notice something else.
It's never ending, is it?
Something's always going to go. So there'll always be a weak point. These engines, I think, from what we know of them, and we don't know much, we're not engine guys, but from using them, we know that they seem to be okay on bore scoring and IMS. We're never worried about bore score
cars,
or
we don't
IMS.
have to worry about either of those things.
We're more worried about big end barrier failures,
timing chains,
and oil starvation.
Oil starvations are a real problem.
Yeah, and peripheral failures when you're building this up. So I think you'd put a new AOS on, because it's not expensive. You could get away with your alternator. You've got a refurbished one, starter motor. New bolts, new nuts and bolts, new gaskets. I don't know what that oil thing. You can keep that, whatever that is. I don't know nothing about what that is. You can keep all the scavengers and stuff. Yes, you can actually keep most of it as is, really. Because if you start upgrading the internals, it gets very expensive. But the one thing we're always worried about is now is that big end bearing failure. So that's why Dan's running the baffled deeper sump, which is what Scott recommended should protect you. And so far it has actually. Yeah, you know, it's early days for my engine.
I mean, there's a few things. So there's a couple of things for that. You've got the baffled sump, like deeper baffled sumps. You've got more oil volume in the engine, in the bottom of the engine. You then uprate the pickup pipes to 997 ones because they're better at picking up than the 996 ones, so that helps as well.
Yeah,
you can then change the oil filter.
I think I've got that upgrade on mine.
Yes, you have.
Yeah.
Porsche done that upgrade. It's standard on yours.
Yeah.
You can then upgrade the oil filter housing instead of the big plastic housing with the massive paper filters.
Yeah, you
can get a metal screw-on system.
I want Nigel said that lets through a lot more oil. That resonated with me.
And it stops, and it just can stop any air.
You can't get this in the UK. You need an adapter.
The adapter. Design 911 sell the adapters.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
No, but not for the 996.
They do, yeah.
You sure?
Yeah, for the M96 engine, they sell the adapter and you screw that on.
I'll speak to them.
It's about 130 quid. It's LN Engineering.
Yeah, but I think I found a European company selling this and this for the 996, and I looked at the Design 911s, and they had an adapter, but it was for 997, I think. I don't know, but
probably be the same fitment, to be honest.
If they don't have it,
because I think
they'll be able to
996,
get it,
997 oil filters are the same housing.
Yeah, the filter's the same.
It's
It's the adapter, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know. I need to check
So basically, by running one of those instead of
you're talking a couple of £100 to get that adapter.
The adapter's about £130, £140. These are only like 12 quid, 15 quid.
Oh, right.
And you can buy these in a pack of 6 for 100 quid. Yeah, so it's just the adapter.
You have to be careful with any upgrade because I don't know anything about it. And you go and chuck it on, you could blow your engine up. But if Nigel's run it and it's been done by race teams, it's going to be good.
And then, of course, the most important one, the most significant one that Slacker talk about is the oil itself.
Yes.
1060 is what they recommend, especially if you're
racing,
tracking.
Though, but for the odd track day,
1050 you run, don't you?
I run 1050 Millers NT.
Yeah, you still got the 10.
With the nano drones in there fixing things as they go round.
The 60 is the ultimate though, and Slacker pray by that.
Yeah, but for road use, it's going to be a bit...
Probably not, but you track.
But I also just smoke around in that
I think the other thing with your engine is it's so new and not enough miles on it. You didn't want to jump to 60. You jumped to 50 straight away.
I'm going to stick with that.
So 1050
NT. Millers.
So thicker oil, the oil filter housing, the deeper baffled sump, they're the three key features. The pickup pipe inside,
maybe.
And then the ultimate is an Apollo oil fed system or an AccuSump. And what they do...
Our wallets don't match our aspirations because it all costs money.
They have a separate oil chamber. The Apollo is the most impressive system because it's a 3 litre oil tank with an in and an out.
Yeah.
And it will feed oil in and out of the engine. And what it will do is the tank itself is constantly trying to draw any air out.
Can that fail in any way that will stop oil flow?
From what I've heard, it's the ultimate. It's like 100% guaranteed no oil starvation. And the guys that are using them... If it fails,
though, it's unmanaged.
I think the engine can manage without it if it fails.
So if it stops pushing oil, it will just
I think the engine's doing it. Steve would have to talk you through it. Yeah. But the idea is the guys that use
you could introduce another point of failure, couldn't you? If that goes.
The cars that really struggled were the Caterhams use oil pressure systems, the race cars. But the other cars,
I've seen those go bang.
The ones that really struggled were those. What's that other car? The
Full Focus.
The Super Track thing.
Vauxhall
Full-wheel race car. Aerial Atoms. So the Aerial Atoms were really struggling with oil starvation, and the Apollo system was designed for them. And Steve thinks it would adapt well onto an M96 engine. But at the moment, again, no one's done it. But when I talk to the race guys running these cars, so if you talk to any of the guys that run 996 Carrera Cup and race cars, they're running AccuSumps.
Yes.
They all have AccuSumps in them.
Just so you can forget about about oil starvation, banking and dunking.
Because those guys are running slicks and they're pushing really hard, so they're banking really hard.
That's the thing, a stock one on like PS2s going around a motor circuit probably be okay. You suddenly put racing slicks on it, you can corner so much quicker, you can start driving it a bit harder, and you're kind of I had rubbish tyres when I blew mine, but it was going around a corner, but it started drying Yeah, and it was the perfect corner to blow an engine
Obviously,
on.
the Mexico engines are a dry sump, so they don't have that problem. So they don't have an oil starvation problem like us. But that's another world.
Yeah, we've
but
got enough
a
to
lot
worry
of the
about
Carrera race cars, like the one you're on about, the Paragon car, that runs an Accu sump system.
Yes.
And so does Mark Horton's 996 race car that we saw at. He's got a 3.7 build like this.
Yeah.
And he runs an Accu sump system.
Yeah, so he'd be an interesting guy to talk to, but he's been through this process.
Yes.
And
he's running M96 engine.
They go through it and then they run it, and that's the difference. And then they learn, what works and what doesn't because they're driving them so hard. So with this then, Dan, so first, step one, I would say, is start on the bottom.
Yeah, get the sump on, do the pipe.
Seal up the sump.
Do the pipe, seal up the sump.
Get the, what's it called, the oil lifter, the oil
997 pickup.
That's a little plastic doodad that bolts
Get
in.
the L-on screw-on adapter for the oil filter.
Check this for little bits of pistons and stuff like that.
Yeah. Replace these, look, because they're damaged.
Yeah.
So that's the Vario cam viewing
you're
caps.
gonna have loads of little
replace
bits like
them.
that. But hold on, so sump back on.
Yeah.
We're not going into the engine block. So
No,
after the sump goes back on, it's going to be things like the water pump.
No, so make sure my X51 works first and fits. Oil filter.
Yeah.
AOS.
Oil cooler.
Oil cooler, sorry,
Let's have a look at that.
Oil cooler goes here.
So do you have to replace those seals?
Yes, you come with the new oil cooler. You put 4 new
So those
rings
seals can fail and you might get ingress through there,
Yes,
might you? So
yeah.
2 of these are water and 2 of them are oil.
Yes, correct.
So your ingress is going to be there or inside.
Yeah, it could go either way, yeah. So if that seal failed, it could leak into your water system, which could be what your car's got.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Getting in
but they have to go through 2...
And it could fail inside, John. So
yeah, but you'd have to have 2 seals fail,
yes, it does, yeah, but they fail inside. They fail in there, inside there. So you see how that's all oil, and that's all oil, and that's just coolant, that's just coolant.
Yeah.
That's a radiator system. So if it breaks down and corrodes inside there with age, it can fail somewhere inside there. And
if your seals are failing, you'd get some sign of rubbish around here, wouldn't you? So I haven't looked at that. I could look at that actually, but it's going into Barnsport tomorrow, so they will know what to look for.
And then new AOS, new oil cooler. X51 intake system with a thing, and then no fit power steering.
You're going to stick with these knock sensors?
Yeah, probably. No power steering on the engine.
What sensor is that? Temperature sensor?
Temperature sensor, yeah. No, don't fit the power steering on here.
No.
Don't fit the air conditioning pumps. This is where we'll save loads of weight now.
Yeah.
Convert the car to non-AC and fit Servotronic power steering into the front. So this is what the race cars use and all the drift boys use.
Like the
These are TRW
fusion generator from Back to the Future.
So it's lighter. It's heavy, but it's a little bit lighter than the entire
Where does that
power steering system. It goes into the front.
So
and it's Servotronic, so it's electronic and hydraulic.
He hasn't shown me this technology.
This is McLaren. Force India don't share secrets.
Budget than me.
So our cars are traditionally hydraulic power steering, so it's using the engine power to add hydraulic assistance. The rack itself, with an oil feed in and out, would have hydraulic assistance. The engine adds to that. This takes the engine away and adds electronic assistance.
Yes.
So it's electric and hydraulic rather than engine hydraulic power.
I won't do that upgrade then.
So this will save. So this weighs similar to the pump system on the engine, but it's taking it away from the engine. But what you save is all the big oil lines.
And it's not driving. You're not driving
a power steering. So
you're going to have no aircon.
Super short belt.
It's going to have no aircon being driven and no power steering being driven. And a short belt.
Yeah.
So that there's less. It's not going to make a massive difference.
It does make a massive difference.
Well,
so your water pumps here.
Yes.
You've got all these tensioners. You've got a great big power steering pump and an air conditioning pump.
That's right.
And the belt is like that big. Yeah.
Yes.
This will be like that.
Yeah. It's 2 less things to drive.
It's 2 less things to drive. So it's a shorter belt system.
All you've got being driven then after that is water pump,
crank,
alternator,
alternator, and a tensioner.
Yeah, the crank's doing the driving, isn't it?
Yes.
So you've just got alternator and water pump,
which is all on one side in one corner. So your belt.
So you're losing 2/5 of your load on that.
And your belt will be less than half the size.
So we're not going to know what difference that makes because we're doing too many things here because of the intake. So it's just like rolling.
Again, we're
rolling a load of dice.
Yeah.
And the less dice you roll, you can see what the difference is. When he's rolling about 350 dice here, and he'll probably just go. It'll either work or it won't.
The problem is like if you, I totally get what you're saying. If you did each mod individually, you could measure a loss or a gain, a loss or a gain. But we haven't got time or the money to do that because that would be 7 rolling roads, 7 engine drops.
Yes.
We have an engine that's out now. Yes. We have an engine in this car that is producing more power than any other 3.7 in the country.
Engine. Don't touch it. You leave it in this car.
No. So let's learn from this engine and copy the mods off this engine onto this engine. This car has no AC.
You can't copy that engine because it's got forged internals and
but you can copy
injectors.
The external mod. You can copy the AC delete. You can copy the injectors.
One mistake he's making is he wants to install the injectors from this car, which are some BMW injectors. I am interested, and put them in a 3.4. And I'm worried, what does that do with your current map? Because that's going to ultimately confuse the car.
You've got to map the car.
Yeah, you're going to have to.
So listen, when Nigel first built this 3.7 and he mapped it the first time, before he'd done the injectors, they got it up to about 320 something horsepower and they run out of fuel.
You're going to have to run this with like chucking loads of fuel in before you can get
too much fuel. Yeah. So they upgraded the injectors because they ran out of fuel. They didn't go for GT3 injectors or turbo. That was too much fuel. They found a happy compromise, and I've got a spreadsheet that he emailed me with all the data of Bosch injectors, and it tells you the volumes that you can run. So I'm looking at that, and either these ones or the ones below these ones, but more fuel than those ones. But turbo ones and GT3 ones would be too much.
Yeah.
They're too much.
Yes.
So it's about finding an injector that A will fit and B will give you more fuel than standard, but not too much. I mean, I think this car stinks rich.
Yeah, and there's one thing we haven't talked about.
It's already overfueling probably anyway.
Sorry to interrupt. One thing we haven't talked about is I want to take Dan's block. He's not sure about this. Look, he's looking down thinking, it's my block.
That car
I want to take the broken block from DTC.
Let's go back outside.
Nick his trolley, and I want to split it down myself. So get it to this stage, which is all easy. You just unbolt stuff to you at this stage, basically. You just keep going. But then I want to try and get my head around how this engine works. I want to take the cam covers off. He wants to basically
use my engine as a guinea pig and break it, lose half the parts, get it all in a pile of scrap and say, Dan, come and collect all this crap.
Take the vario cams out, take the valve, the followers, the valves out, the springs out, take the cylinder heads off.
We have done that, haven't we? We've done it with Steve.
Yeah, I didn't really pay much attention to that.
You did. On day one you didn't, but on day two you did all the work.
I saw it, but I want to do it.
Do you remember the bolts?
Very slowly.
Is it ready to come off yet, John?
John,
it's not coming off. Have you done all the bolts?
Yeah, but that was just the cam covers, wasn't it?
No, that was the head.
Oh, was it the cylinder heads?
Yeah, we took the cylinder heads off. You remember?
No, I think it was the cam covers. There's hundreds of bolts on them. So I want to take all of that out so I know how it all goes back in. And then I want to break that down. I want to look at the seals, how these are all sealed. Because is that just like RTV?
Mastic, yeah.
That's just RTV sealant around there.
They have a metal gasket there.
And that's just a bare metal gasket. No other sealant required. It's just a bare metal gasket and you torque it up with new hardware.
Oh, now you're asking me. I think I've seen... So when Slacker do it, they put a metal wire around there. I don't think Slacker use these.
There's no sign of any.
Slacker don't use these, John.
It's double skin, that gasket.
Yeah, Slacker don't use these. They use a metal wire and glue. So all different engine builders use different things.
Double skinned, yeah.
Yeah, Porsche don't use these either, do they?
Don't know.
Porsche use a mastic.
Looks. Hold on, is that gasket?
Yeah, I'm sure they're not. Porsche don't use them.
They smother the gasket in sealant or something, or just chuck. Or does the gasket just
I
go in
think all
bare?
engine builders do different things. I've seen a string technique with a little wire.
But then you're down to your core block, and you've got to get all this laid out and organised with all your stuff, and it's all got to go back in and get timed. Then you're down to your core block, and then you've got to split the block open.
Yeah. That casing, that's called the casings, left and right casings, and then inside is a core block.
That's the bit that scares me, because you're going to have all your chains, aren't you?
Yeah.
So where are the chains in here?
So the chains are connected to the crank in the core block.
Yes.
And then they come up and go around the cams and back around.
And the
to
IMS
crank,
runs down the bottom of the engine.
The IMS runs down the bottom of the engine through into the core block.
So you have one chain going here.
Yeah, it's a 5-chain system, this car.
So you have one chain. So you have one chain driving the crank, then turning the IMS. Yeah. And then is the chain on the IMS going to this cams here? And then one. No, hold on. Because 2 of the chains are going to be your your Vario cam chains, aren't they?
Yes, and they're each side.
And so
2 each side and
so you've
one
got 2
central.
Vario cam chains and then 3 chains. So you've got.
No, 2, 2, and 1. It's 5. It's a 5-chain system.
Yeah, but. So you've got one chain going from the IMS to the cranks, and there one chain going from the IMS to the crank here, and then one chain on each Vario cam, and then one chain going from the crank to the intermediary shaft. So that's those.
No, the shaft's not driven by the IMS.
It's got to be chain driven. It's just a shaft, isn't it, on a bearing?
It's a bearing. It just goes through into the crank.
Yeah, but it's got to be turned by the. That's how it times it.
Yeah,
all.
I'm just trying to.
So there'll be a chain from the crank going to the IMS. Is it a chain
or is it a sprocket straight into another sprocket?
Well, what's the other chain then?
No, hang on.
Anyway,
must be chain.
So it does help if you know
I've seen an IMS come out. We've taken them. They don't got a chain on them.
Well, they must have. They've got a chain somewhere.
Goes into the bottom of the central block. Well, this is why you want to take it apart to learn.
2. It's got to be chain driven from the crank.
It's definitely a 5-chain.
Look at the distance, Dan. So it's going to be. I don't know. Anyway,
these early ones are 100% called the 5-chain engine.
Yes, yeah. But I want to understand the inside of this engine and how it works and what's involved in opening it all up, changing bearings, changing chains, and putting it back together and actually having it and timing it and actually getting it to work. And when you're putting all these like valves back in and you're changing the seals and putting springs in and followers in, how do you do all that? That's what I want to know. So I'll mess it all up. So if I take a busted engine and just use it as a dummy to study it.
Yeah, but I do need to do something with that engine long term. My long term plan is probably to use that engine as a block to rebuild into a monster.
Well, we can do. You can do it with me, so we both learn about it.
Yeah, maybe we strip it all down. We also, and build it.
And I use the collective we, are going to need spare engines because I'm going to just keep tracking mine until I blow it up. And I plan on tracking it a lot. So I reckon, I don't know how long you can get out of an M whatever it's called.
Well, you've
96.
got a brand new one now, so you'd like to think you can get 130,000 miles out of it.
No, but I don't think...
not if you're tracking it as much as we are.
I sort of think 3 to 5 years, maybe I'll blow it up, which is probably realistic.
Yeah, probably.
If I took a BMW and I tracked
Formula One team would blow their engines up on one race.
12 days, 12 months, 12 times a year for 5 years... You know, there's a good chance if it was an S55, I could do it.
Yeah.
Eventually, something will go. So you've got to think about this. So having a spare engine block and always having spare engines is going to be like handy. It's a lot of work to drop it and like do all this and then break it all down because you see the engine here, it all looks easy, but getting it out and like stripping it's like 2 days for me and Dan. You know. 4 hours to get it out. Maybe we could do that quicker.
Yeah, I think we could do that quicker.
4 or 5 hours to strip it all down.
Yeah,
and then that's just to get it to here.
Yeah.
And then like you got to get it out. And when you're unbolting things, like half these bolts break, and then like these thing just disintegrates, and like fuel rails are all rotten. You end up spending a fortune on bits. So like the more bits we can build up, and I say we. The more bits Dan's can build up and have in stock for me is very beneficial for us.
Yes, I think.
No, I'm going to try and clear some space in my shed.
Now you know why he cleans my cars for 3 days, because he's got unlimited parts department.
I took it down the scratch and shine. Gave him a £5. Yeah, no, I did a good job with that.
Right, so yes, that's the plan anyway. Build this engine up, do all those mods we just said, get it in DTC, get another 20, 30 kilos off that car as well. That was 1220, that car. I want to get it down under 1200. So my plan to do that is AC delete, power steering delete, the lighter brakes and stud conversion off this car, lighter seat frames, polycarbonate side windows, and the race battery off this car.
Yeah. You see, for me,
and altogether, hopefully that's 30
I'm
kilos.
looking at my thing, and I don't want to go near the engine on mine because it's all working, so it's not out, you know. So you'd be crazy for me to think about doing any engine mods at the moment. Just drive it till it, you know, I have a problem. For me, I'm looking at weight and I'm thinking, I want carbon fibre doors. I want carbon fibre doors. I want carbon fibre wings because I got carbon fibre roof. I got carbon fibre body. This carbon fibre, that carbon fibre. The only thing left that won't be carbon will be the wings and the
these in carbon as well. You can get these.
Yeah, how much are those though? They're more than the car. You're talking like 6 or 7 grand.
Well, the doors are going to be like 5 grand, but they can, if you do full race door with polycarbonate windows,
I think they're 2.5 grand a side, the carbon
you can go full race and they'll save you 40 kilos a side.
We're getting too carried away here. But yeah, I think once you start chopping out like the panel, like the rear quarter panel and putting in the car, that's like a major surgery on the car.
Yeah, that's epic. That's race, that's full race car.
I reckon you could do it. Like, you could be hammering away at things and drilling things. Anyway, you probably need a lifter, wouldn't you? But the
doors are bolt on. They're more realistic. That'll be my last resort. The doors. So after this next diet with this engine, I think I'll be 1180, 1190 kilos. My next step to get to cup car weight, which is a sub 1150, would be
I wonder if it's
carbon doors.
Theoretically possible to get these below 1,000 kilos.
You could with no cage. So the cup cars are under 1,000.
One seat, no cage, all plexiglass, no carbon fibre, everything stripped off of that engine, even drilling out bits of metal like he's done in there.
I believe
anything you don't need comes out. No stereo, no speakers, no door cards.
I'm already there, already done all that. I believe the cup cars are sub a ton, even the modern ones, and then they add the cage.
Can you imagine one of these?
And the cages are over 100
See,
kilos.
one of these rocking around at about 990 kilos, rocking about 320 brake horse. That would be fast.
No one's got that light. There's a guy that got 1,090, didn't he? Won the silver car with the red bumpers.
Yeah.
I'm sure he was 1,090.
And he could have probably gone further.
He's got no roll cage. He drilled holes in panels. He had a cut windscreen, which is 1.4 mil thinner.
And what's the weight saving? There's not much saving.
It was about 2 kilos saving to have a thinner. But when you're going for the ultimate, this car's got manual mirrors to save weight. I mean, that's probably
you'd have to
200
go
grams a
banzai
side.
mode, wouldn't you? Have banzai mode, even dashboard coming out.
Oh, mate, you'd be taking bulbs out that you don't use very often just to save like 10 grams,
get it
20
mega
grams.
light. But then stripped out car interior is not so pleasant, is it?
No.
That's really where But the drive, once you get a car light, like below 1,000 kilos and stiff, you start feeling them a bit more.
We need to go now.
We need to go.
I've got to go gym.
Okay, so Dan, we always lose track of time. It's like we're not filming. We're just talking with the I forget I'm holding the camera.
That is what you're doing.
Yeah, it kind of is. Yeah. You've got me thinking.
Plan is build that max power, drop it in that, shave more weight, back on circuit in the summer, sub 1,200 kilos, over 300 horsepower. John can't catch me.
No chance. No chance.
Even with his red racing shoes, he won't be able to get that car.
And my weight reduction regime. I'll be fasting before the track day to try and get another couple of kilos off.
He's going to turn up with an intravenous drip.
Yeah. Zero chance. Yeah, no, I think, okay. Yeah, we'll end it here, guys. So there's an update on DTC. She's back, but with that return of the car.
Of the work.
Well, the work will have to start, yeah. And funny enough, we've been messing around with this for ages, but this is kind of really done now. So summer's cool because I'm looking forward to getting DTC running again. Like, it'll be good.
Well, it's full track's end, isn't it? I can just go 100%.
But we need to actually get these cars going and actually start just spending the time driving them rather than like constantly trying to get them there. And like,
every car guy.
There's no money left. There's
John,
no money.
Every guy that's watching your channel now is feeling exactly the same.
Anyone that does this, they just all your money like
work.
You don't spend money on anything other than cars.
Bit of joy. Work on the car.
As soon as it comes in, it goes straight out on cars. But there you go.
It's what we do.
Yes. Over and out. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to follow Dan's Timeless Classics on YouTube and Instagram. Doug.